first set of visuals will be coming in now from Kartavya Bhavan any moment now. A quick reminder for the viewers, this is Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's 9th consecutive budget. She has created history already. The only finance minister to have presented 10 budgets was in fact Morarji Desai, but that was done with a break. So Nirmala Sitharaman has created history and will be creating history again today. This is the budget. The first visuals will be coming in of that tablet from Kartavya Bhavan, because the Finance Ministry has moved from North Block to Kartavya Bhavan. We'll be getting those visuals, but first I think Ketan Bhutani is joining us as well. He's joining me from Vijay Chowk. A word from you, Ketan. Finance Minister heads to the Rashtrapati Bhavan. That's where the dahi chini custom will be played out. This is the beauty of the tradition. While we look at the tablet, you know, as far as moving ahead or adopting technology is concerned, but wrapped in the red cloth, and then that dahi chini, you know, tradition with technology is the big message that has been part of the Modi government's Modi-nomics.
Well, absolutely. You know, in a few minutes from now, we would be seeing the finance minister's cavalcade heading to the Rashtrapati Bhavan for that, you know, usual ceremony. But I'm going to tell you one thing. What I'm hearing from my sources is the fact that, you know, something on deregulation could probably be announced, because in the previous engagements the Prime Minister has done with the industry, with respective chief secretaries, he has always mentioned about deregulation and deregulating and improving people's lives. So something on ease of living and deregulation could be announced. Secondly, Maria, we are also hearing that a big push towards MSMEs could also be announced. Because remember, 33 crore jobs, 48% of the exports are done by our medium, small and micro enterprises. That could probably the key focus, and reducing the compliance burden for MSMEs and increasing liquidity and full credit line to the MSMEs would be on the cards. Thirdly, Maria, I want to tell our viewers that the government's focus on infrastructure would remain, because last year we saw a record allocation of about 11 lakh crores towards infrastructure. This year it could probably increase by 8 to 10% for all the infrastructure ministries combined to nearly about 12 to 12.5 lakh crore, which could significantly increase the allocation towards the infrastructure sector as well. So these three key things would be in mind when the finance minister presents her budget today, and we would be expecting a whole lot of ease of living, MSME related, digital economy, digital transformation, push transformation and announcements as well.
Okay, so now let's look at the infrastructure spending. The government has ensured that in the last few years that there is a whole web of highways, of better roads, better connectivity to attract foreign investment, to attract investment within the country. This is the graph. This is how the road infrastructure spending in terms of the number of highways that has been built per year, the kilometer. This is where the highwayman of India, that is the role of Nitin Gadkari, the union minister, comes into spotlight. This is how the focus has been in financial year 24 particularly, the number of the highways built per kilometer going up. In terms of power, again, this is how the graph looks like. Total installed capacity actually going up consistently. This has been one of the areas which have been the biggest concern, and that has been addressed by Prime Minister Modi's government so far. Let me bring in Shankar Aiyar again. Shankar, so far the government has sent a message that they are preparing the base so that the foreign investment comes in terms of CapEx, in terms of the infrastructure spending with regards to roads, highways, civil aviation facilities, airports, and of course in power sector. The hope is that this will lead to investments. How is the picture looking like so far?
So if you look at it honestly, the last 5 years, 6 years growth has been driven mostly by government CapEx. I think Government of India has spent something to the order of over 70 lakh crores in infrastructure. Railways have been, a large part has been electrified. Roads have been widened, new ones built, the flyovers, the trans-city connectivity, all of this has happened. And this has also been enabled by the lending that the center has done to the states. The question now is, now that you have the assets, how do you monetize those assets? And that's the flip side that hasn't quite played out. And this was the responsibility of the Land Resources Management Agency. This was the responsibility of DIPAM. The asset monetization idea has been spoken about by the Prime Minister quite some time back and has been repeated. So the Prime Minister says reform, transform and perform, or rather reform, perform and transform. So the reform part is happening in some ways, but the perform part, which is the down the line ministries and the state governments, is sort of missing. So across the entire social sector, last mile delivery is poor. And that is where the states have to sort of pull up. If you look at investments, FDI, again, it's the same story. They hold all this kinetic Karnataka, magnetic Maharashtra thing, and nobody knows whether the investment has come, not come, whether jobs have been created. So the Niti Aayog actually is well placed to sort of haul these wagons around the circle and sort of figure out how much investment has actually happened. Only two chief ministers, to my recollection, Yogi Adityanath and Devendra Fadnavis, actually put out actual MOUs and implementation data. The other states don't. And this is something that is strange because all the announcements that happened in Davos, for instance, where we had this strange spectacle of companies from India talking to governments of India in and about investing in India. So now all those MOUs need to be listed, and somebody has to put out whether all this taxpayer money that was spent in people going to Davos has been worth it.
Okay, since you talk about that mantra, reform, perform and transform, what is the role of states in all these mantras that, great taglines, Rajiv, Mantri, but performance has to be about that cooperative federalism, something which has been highlighted by the chief economic advisor also in the economic survey, that the pressure on the states is far more because of the GST collection and their role going down.
Certainly, I think on the aspect of deregulation in particular, I think a big chunk of the action would have moved to the states now, because the union government has executed on number of aspects, a number of areas, and now it's really the ball is in the court of the states to take it forward. Just to give one example, the new labor codes. The new labor codes empower the states to make further liberalization and further relaxation in terms of hiring and firing and the ceiling within which the liberal laws can be implemented. And we need a few states in India, like 2-3 major states need to take this up and drive labor-intensive manufacturing, especially when India has now done trade deals with large kind of economic blocks like the EU, and also, of course, Australia, New Zealand, and probably Canada in the works. So these are major economies where there is a significant export opportunity for taking up labor-intensive exports. And we really need now that a few forward-looking states should run with these reforms.
Okay, so if as Shankar was pointing out, it is the state of Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra so far which has come up with something very, very concrete in terms of what they have achieved and the numbers. While other states, we were expecting perhaps a Tamil Nadu or even Andhra Pradesh, because Chandrababu Naidu was the first CEO of any state. Those numbers, why is that not coming, Rajiv, Mantri?
So it is true that many of the state investment summits and all, they have become like probably, to put it cynically, headline management or generation of PR for the state. And but I do think that for many states it reflects ultimately in the numbers. As the saying goes, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but not all of the people all of the time.
Okay.
So over a period of time, I think we do see which states are growing continuously, which states are actually industrializing, which states are being talked about in the business community as the right place to set up plants and set up manufacturing facilities. So the proof is in the pudding, and definitely, like Shankar highlighted, Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra score highly on those counts.
Okay, so
also Tamil Nadu.
Maria, we must recognize one interesting thing. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, for instance, have got the large chunk of investments in both digital and AI-related activity, and also manufacturing in Tamil Nadu, which also you guys were talking about women. Electronics. You guys were talking about women in the role of women in the economy. The highest number of women employed in manufacturing is in Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu. Interesting.